How are you guys? Before I forget, just make sure that if you like something on this channel, I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel. And all the links that are there in this, that I discuss in the video, are actually in the description of the video below. So make sure you click on those links and you get to where you want to get. And we'll continue with part number 3 of the property development process. So let's go on, and we've discussed up till obtaining permits, and what we've discussed, I'll just quickly recap that the conventional model that I have studied in the books, and I went to seminars and saw, was basically 5 stages of property development. But when I actually got into it, if you haven't watched video 1 and 2, I strongly encourage that you go and watch videos 1 and 2 so it makes more sense to you. I watched, what I've done in videos 1 and 2 is explain how vision, concept, and consultants are actually broken down into all these various steps that are there that you got to take before you can actually proceed from stage 1 to 2 to 3 and so on. So we were at marketing, and marketing is very important, especially post GFC. The rules of property development have changed totally. So these days they want people to have their pre-sales up front, and what happens is once the construction starts, especially in Victoria, this is what I've noticed in Victoria, but it doesn't matter where, what happens in other states. If you're in other states, you don't have to worry about it. But in Victoria, what happens is once you start the construction, there's an off the plan stamp duty savings in Victoria. And if you buy something off the plan and the construction hasn't started, the stamp duty is really low. It's very negligible. And there are 2 different formulas to calculate that as well. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're in Victoria and you're buying something and you're trying to sell your development off the plan, make sure you do everything in your power to do your marketing and to get your pre-sales right before the construction starts, because once the construction kicks in, a lot of people who could have bought this now see that the stamp duty savings are not that great anymore, so that deters them from buying your development. It's a small thing, but then again, if you've done your due diligence, financial feasibility, and all these steps here, you would have a development that is strong and would sell in any market, because you've done your research on the location, you've done your research on the supply and demand in the area, and so on. So marketing actually keeps going. It actually kicks in just after you got your planning permit or your DA, because it has to kick in, because before you can start construction, your lender would want a certain amount of pre-sales, and so you want to be in the market as soon as you've obtained your planning permits or you pass your planning stage. The second part of after marketing that kicks into a property development system is your construction. And to be able to do construction properly, I don't expect you to be a builder. I'm not a builder myself, but I have a very good, thorough understanding of the types of contracts, how do I select different contractors, the tender process, what should be in the building contract, before construction commencements, what are the things you need to do, how do you file your progress claims, retention, builders and defects liability period, insurance, and extra resources that you can access, so you understand how construction works. There are so many different things involved here, because when the construction kicks in and there are progress claims, you got to deal with the QS, because anytime you file a progress claim, you'll get a claim from the builder, and then you will look at it and you'll say whether or not you agree with it. And at the same time, the lender's quantity surveyor will also look at it, and they'll go to the site, do their report, and come back and tell you whether or not, this claim can be released, and so on. So, and the other thing that's very important while the construction is still going and it's not complete yet, is to be able to get your titles ready in time, because ideally you want your titles to be ready. Say for example, you're building 9 apartments, let's say, and your construction finishes end of let's say 3 months from now. Your construction is about to complete. You've got to get in touch with your building surveyor, no sorry, your land surveyor, who's in charge of all the titles, who did your building format plan, and you got to tell them that you want to line up your titles process so that by the time your construction's finished, you've got your titles ready, which can then, so that all your pre-sales can settle ASAP. And the reason I say that is because at the end of construction, you've drawn down 100% of your construction loan, which 9 out of 10 cases is a big amount, and you are paying almost $400 to $600 to $1,000 a day, depending upon the size of your development, if every day that you are late when your settlement occurs. So what you want to make sure is that the moment it is finished, you are ready to settle with your pre-sales, so that you can reduce your debt as much as you can as soon as your construction is complete. And that's why this process is very important. And this process kicks in at the beginning of the project, and it comes back up again when you've got almost 3 months left for the construction to complete. So make sure you got a good understanding of this. Once you have that understanding, you'll be able to save yourself a lot of money. So that's the 5 stages that we that was basically the conventional model of property development. When I went through all these projects, and I said, no, I think there are so many different things that you got to do before these stages kick in. So and after these stages kick in, because it's the rules have changed now. It's difficult to do developments. The bottom's very crowded. There are a lot of people there who just want to get into the project. But the good part is that I would say 90% of that crowded market has no clue what they're doing. They're just doing it because everyone's doing it, so we're doing it. And they've got no idea what they're buying. They're paying more for the land, and then they get caught out later on. And that's why property development system gives you an edge over all these 90% of the people in the market who have no clue whatsoever what they are doing. But once you once you've got the full system, you know exactly how each step is going to unfold in your development, and you are prepared beforehand. So yeah, if you've liked the video, make sure that you click on the subscribe button on the channel over here. And if you wanted a free resource, you can click on the free blueprint on my website, propertydevelopmentsystem.com.au, and you click on the free blueprint, and you can download the video, download the free property developers blueprint that I wrote, and have a read of it. It's 100% free, and I'll catch you in video number 4.